Welcome back, friends. I'm going to work on our painting again for a little while, maybe an hour or so. I've got someplace to go in a little bit, so I got it up here a little crooked. Hopefully it won't fall off on us. I was looking at some of the photos of the actual scene, and I made a decision to, it's a corner. I was at an intersection when I shot it, and I'm going to bring the road to the left and the right. See how it is? I might even, this is from a different angle, but see there's a stop sign even right there. Might be fun. But this is the actual scene we're painting, but I pulled it down so you could see, again, this goes off here, and then that goes off to the right. I think that would improve it. I asked my husband's opinion on that. He's got a pretty good eye, and he liked that idea better. You know, might make it more interesting, and we have all this foreground anyway. So, so I'm mixing up an orange, and I'm putting some white in it. That's the first thing we'll do. We'll go ahead and brush in, I think, where that road's going to be. So it goes off then about here. Again, there isn't anything we can't change if we don't like it, so. And it goes over and comes in at a curve, kind of like that. I have a friend that is an artist, and she does a lot of rural scenes, and one of her paintings that is my favorite of hers is a triptych, actually, and it's a farm scene. I can't remember completely, but it's got, of course, the farmhouse, and it's even got railroad tracks and a railroad crossing in it. I really like it. Okay, so the road, then it does a curve. Let's see. Not that we have to be exact, you know, to this, but again, you know, the stop sign might be a cute addition too then, if we're going to explain that it's at an intersection like this. So what do you think? And again, I'm trying not to cover up all of our pink. Yeah, this comes pretty much straight across right there. You know, this way it definitely will probably feel like a road versus, you know, that could have been a long driveway going in. All right, now let's start looking at, of course, we got a lot of green to go in and other things. There's even a little, I don't know if it would improve it, it might be so tiny, but there's even a little mailbox right there. All right, so let's start revisiting some of these things. That looks pretty green. Just trying to make kind of a gray color, orange and blue. I always use colors I've already got mixed up on here. You know, I had the orange kind of color, so I threw some blue in it to try to pull it toward a gray. I'm always doing that, shifting things around. This, let's get that off of there. They're just way too green. again, it looks to be kind of a little shed, but it doesn't really matter, does it? I want to go out and walk yet tonight, but I always wait till the sun goes in, so I wait till pretty late. I'm out pretty late. I actually get home like right before dark, but I'm careful. But I can't do the sun. I have vitiligo, so I have to watch. I don't know if you know what that is, but I mean, it's an autoimmune disease and my body attacks its pigments, so I can burn real quick. So everybody's got something, I find. Yeah, I'll be playing with this for a while. Just what's the rush? And I think it's fun. Okay, that. Trying to tell what we got going on there. Yeah, I think the blocking's kind of the same for all of us. You know, you block it in and then you just decide how far you want to take it, how finished you want it. Do you want to be very impressionistic? If you do, stay with bigger brushes. You know, don't focus in on stuff and stay loose if that's what your goal is. It just, you know, we all do different things. In the actual photo, the side of this building is not as bright as this. It's doesn't mean it can't be in my painting, of course, but and we're probably going to get some palette knife out and I think what we'll do is before we start really picking at the buildings too much, I'm going to look at some of these trees back in here. Just jumping around and warming some of them up. You know, and you can mass in a whole row of trees, but then you might want to separate them out and explain that there's maybe tree here, like here there's 2 trees, and I wanted it to feel like that. And this is our pine tree here, so this piece of grass back here, of course, would be cooler when we get there. And even though we've kind of suggested a barn there, yeah, we may not leave it, you know. I think it'd be just as well if it were probably a tree. For now, we'll wipe it out and decide. I'm going to take my evergreen sword. I've showed you this brush before. It's a weird brush that is nice for like tree limbs and tree trunks, partly because you can't control it very well. It spreads out and you can use it any place you want, some tree limbs or tree trunks, or these little bushes across the front here, which we may go back and add that later, kind of have little trunks to them. Yeah, just kind of looking around here and zooming in and You know, and you can add these tree limbs and tree trunks and then come back and put some foliage over top of them if you feel like they're standing out too much. You know, we're just throwing in stuff here and there. That is the porch for the house. Put that guy away for a little while. Let's get a little palette knife out here, and I'm going to use that to explain a few things. Kind of lost our chimney. We might put it back in. It's a weird little structure there. I'm not sure how I feel about that. The porch post, let's see. Only the front part of the porch roof is in light. Back part's in shadow. Can't really, when I zoom in, it's pretty blurry, that porch area, so I really can't tell what's going on there. Let's go at that again. Little finger touch-ups, and I'll probably, I may very well paint over the sky again to, you know, clean up some of this area that's kind of dirtier than I would like, the sky holes, and even though the shadow area is cooler, we want it to feel red. So I threw some crimson on top of there. I'm cutting into this post a little bit. I feel like it's a little thick. We're even going to go back and clean up some of this light on the house a little bit too. Got a little bit dirty. And even though this peak is dark, I think I'm going to lighten it up because I want you to see it. Who's to say, right, what color it really is? You know, I want from a distance, I want you to see it, so. Even though it isn't light, it's actually dark. I just think for me, it's an important part of the painting. This little house is my focal point, so I want to make sure you see it. That's a little bit of a part of the porch there. I can see that the porch roof is too big. Brush is pretty big too. See, that's too big. Let's cut it down. I stuck to my tape. We'll decide if that's working, I don't know. I think the porch is a cute feature, so I wanted to show. Angle it down. You know, we could put little cross things in the window. I haven't decided yet. Let's move across to the silos and take a look at them. I did throw a little light in there last night. That was one of the things I did right about the time I quit. You know, I do want to pull your eye across with touches of light. The door is actually pretty light. It's kind of a cool light color. What's on top of that? Just like a little knob almost. I've noticed, you know, over the years traveling, there are lots of different kinds of silos. I guess you call these little ones silos, but the big ones, gosh, so many different shapes, and some have wonderful patterns painted on them, and like checked patterns on them and stuff. Yeah, it's fun. Getting some darks in there. When you zoom in on this thing, it's really not great. Which is okay. Again, I'm always saying that. I don't know how well I want to see it anyway. I bet these are old, aren't they? And again, the other one I can't see too well because it's behind the telephone pole. Some kind of dark knob on the top of it too. I do like the little window in it. That's kind of cute, isn't it? feeling like this roof is too tall on this one. This one's pretty close, but this one's kind of squatty. I think I've got it much too tall. Who would know, right? I just want it to feel correct. Bringing it down, making it squattier like it is. Yeah, I can't even, these look like metal, just kind of rusty, and sometimes I know you can see through these things. I've seen them like that too, kind of like mesh. Playing around with them, I don't know, putting some colors in them. I have to look at this barn too. I think it feels a little squattier than it is. So that would mean the roof would go up. See, that's a nice thing about these oils. We come back in today and see, I can still wipe them off. just keep going, you know, lighter and lighter as I feel I need to. I like that light tree behind the house, and it's there in the photo. Boy, crimson's a powerful color. Just playing around, trying to come up with a barn color. Like I said, I always talk about painting what I see, and actually what I see, this side is lighter. And it runs a bit over into the front too. And the side of the roof is pretty light. I always wanted to have a property with a barn on it. Of course, if you had a barn, you could store a lot of more crap, right? Which I probably would. To me, the perfect homestead would be if you bought a piece of property that used to have a house on it, and it had an old barn and big trees, and then you build a house on that. I actually know of a few properties like that. People were fortunate enough to get that. There's actually like windows down the side. I don't know that it adds anything to it, but you know, I'm not sure how I feel about a lot of this yet, but you know, this may look too busy, I don't know. Well, I'm definitely going to want some color to pull you across, you know. Well, we might quit there for tonight. Like I said, I'm going to redo the color on the sky, clean up sky holes, and then of course all this has to be painted in. We'll make this cooler and back in here, so you know it feels like it's back in there like it is. Telephone poles. We may put this one in now too. Now that I've redone this, it comes in. It's actually over here. So then there's wires. There's poles. I see there's a pole right here and a couple way back in here if we want them. And then, like I said, there's a little tiny mailbox, and there's even a stop sign if we want it in there. So but we made a little headway, I think. You know, what's the rush? It isn't for a show or anything, so if I finish it, I'll just have to do another one. So take our time, right? But it's coming. I think we made some progress and we cleaned some things up, and not sure how I feel about anything at this point, but I say we may very well do that telephone pole now. It would run right across that building, right about there. And then I've got another one that actually runs across the house. So we'll think about that. All right, I'll put you in front of it and you can see what we've done, and hopefully it looks like we made a little progress. That's what it is, you know, we'll just keep developing things till we get it where we want it. So, but I do think it's coming. We got a lot of, I've lightened up a lot of the trees. Again, the sky is kind of dirty. The house is feeling pretty good. So it's coming. Again, you hope when you sit down and you work on one. I always say, if you're lucky, you move it forward. And sometimes you paint them to death, I say. But no, I think we made a little bit of progress. And but you never know. It may change a lot when we get back to it. So I will do my best to leave it alone. And we'll do this again soon. All right. Catch you next time. Good night.